Let us not look back in anger, nor forward in fear, but around in awareness. James Thurber.
Welcome to the final episode of the Peace and Social Justice Report. My name is Jamin Washington.
And my name is Dana Murray. Over the past school year, we have highlighted social justice issues surrounding our community to change the current climate that many of us are facing.
Today's broadcast consists of gun violence, climate change, LGBTQ rights, Juneteenth awareness, and finally our graduating class of 2022.
As many of you know, gun violence is an issue that is currently taking the lives of our youth throughout the community. It's hard to find someone who has not been impacted by gun violence. Today, the death toll in Philadelphia is 160 and rising. Student leaders from the Peace and Social Justice Academy went to Harrisburg to lobby for gun safety legislation. Here is Claude Wheeler with the full report.
Hi, this is Claude Wheeler with the Peace and Social Justice Report. Gun violence continues to be a serious problem in our community. According to officials, Philadelphia is averaging 2 homicides per day. In 2022, there have been 165 homicides, an 8% decrease from 2021. But make no mistake, this is no less of a crisis situation. To date, there have been 582 non-fatal and 145 fatal shooting victims. A solution to help deter gun violence is increased advocating for laws to change. In April, Peace and Social Justice Academy leaders took a trip to Harrisburg to express our views on gun safety legislation to Pennsylvania senators and representatives. We lobby in support of Senate Bill 217, which will make it mandatory to report any lost or stolen firearms within 72 hours. Senate Bill 88 for background checks for long guns, and Senate Bill 134 for extreme harm protection orders for gun owners. We need to make our voices louder when it comes to gun violence because currently families in our communities are losing this battle. Shooting our people and the loss of innocent life is not the answer. However, standing united in solidarity against gun violence is the answer. This is Claude Wheeler signing off for the Peace and Social Justice Report. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Claude. In June, we celebrate Juneteenth as a way to rejoice the ending of slavery in the Confederate states that declared them legally free, embarking on a new journey for African Americans.
Take a look at what we put together.
Yo, hey, yo, what's up, my brother? Hey, yo, y'all know what Juneteenth is?
No.
Do you know what Juneteenth is? Honestly, our ancestors would be very disappointed, and you. But without further ado, I'm gonna have my co-host friend explain what it is.
Also known as Freedom Day, Juneteenth is the oldest nationally celebrated commemoration of the end of slavery. Here's some ways you can celebrate.
One way you can celebrate Juneteenth is by educating yourself and others. Another way you can celebrate Juneteenth is by gathering with friends, having a little festival or a barbecue. Another way is to listen to different type of African music or hip-hop, which we did also come up with. Another way you can celebrate and show your appreciation for Juneteenth is by wearing the traditional African attire.
And that's how you celebrate Juneteenth! Hello, my name is Aaron Brown. In honor of Pride Month, we've gathered a few people to answer questions about the LGBTQ+ community.
Well, schools can start an LGBTQ organization at schools such as GSA, where they welcome students no matter their age or gender identity.
Right. People can advocate for LGBTQ+ rights by giving them a safe place, advocating for them, and also giving information about their pride to other people.
Right. People can advocate by being an ally and noticing more about hate crimes. Most of them happen visibly in the street, and tons tend to ignore it, and I think it needs to be let know more.
I don't think they fear. I believe they don't really like us because of how different we are and how different we can be. And also because a lot of stereotypes have been spread around about us, which makes a whole negative effect on our community as a whole.
The first step, in my opinion, is to speak out. There are a variety of reasons on why people don't speak up about the issue of disrespectful remarks and homophobic slurs. And when we speak up about the issue, not only does it shine light towards not saying them at all, but it brings closure to the LGBTQ community.
Climate change has a global and long-term effect on our planet and our environment. For many years, citizens suffer from the effects of climate change. It's important that we act on this issue.
Academy leader Star Ray interviewed our climate change expert, Mr. Glenn, on his view on climate change. Take it away, Star.
Okay, we can break down climate change two ways. If you look at climate Climate is weather patterns in an area over a long period of time. And if you think about a change is something that, you know, it doesn't stay steady. So it's something that happens and it occurs over a period of time. So climate change is a change in weather patterns over a period of time. Well, if you just look in the news today, climate change has affected us in a few ways. If you look at the forest fires that are out in California, you look at the areas that are flooding, like New Orleans and all those. You look at, you know, just areas where at one time there was a lot of rain or there were lakes and things like that. Now all of a sudden there's no lakes. You have extreme temperatures. And it just affects us in our everyday lives. Well, environmental racism could be an effect of climate change in that a lot of times, if you're thinking about pollution in areas, a lot of pollution is done in areas where people don't have a lot of political pull or people don't have a lot of say. So you'll build plants that pollute the areas and you'll dump waste into, sewage waste into water and everything. And a lot of times if you find those things happen in minority communities.
On May 17th, primary elections in Pennsylvania were held. Here are some of the results. For U.S. Senate, we have John Fetterman. For governor, we have Josh Shapiro. For lieutenant governor, we have Austin Davis. And some honorable mentions of state representatives are Chris Rabb, Stephen Kinsey, and Joanna McClinton.
Let's give it up for the class of 2022.
Your hard work and dedication paved the way for where you are today.
As someone who is currently a graduating senior, it was vital for me and Dana to acknowledge the students who will be attending college or trade school in the fall of 2022.
My advice to the underclassmen would be to not rush it, because it'll be over soon, and to make sure you get all your assignments done on time so that towards the end you could chill, not have too much to do, because it'll get easier the less work you have to do.
And I would just finally say, just be yourself, you know, because a lot of people out here today, they don't want to be themselves, and I think that that's the best thing for you to do, you know.
Some advice to the underclassmen that I would give is to just stay on top of your work and don't procrastinate. Don't wait till last minute to do stuff, because once you wait till last minute, you're gonna feel so stressed, overwhelmed, and it's just gonna be a lot. So
Advice I would give lower classmen is like, create good bonds with teachers, because even though you might be a day behind on that one assignment, that one teacher you got a good bond with might excuse you, or if you don't have nobody to talk to, like at home, and you feeling stressed, you'll have that one teacher that you're able to at least go to. And most teachers will help you with any work from any class. So like, find your teacher for you, and then hang around the right people. Like if you feel like it's a negative vibe, don't stay with them. And yeah.
Well, this will close out today's broadcast, and be sure to catch season 2 coming back in the fall of the next school year.
This is Jamin Washington.
And this is Dana Murray signing off for the Peace and Social Justice Report.
Remember to use your voice for honesty and truth to fight against injustice.
Bye.
Oh,